Hi kitty cats! So today I decided to do a Draw My Life video. I hope you enjoy it. So it all started on the 31st of January 1995 when I was born in a hospital. I was born exactly on the date I was predicted, which didn't happen with either of my brother or my sister. Oops, I drew the bed a little bit too long. Let me make that a little bit shorter for you. That's better. So everyone said I was a cute baby, but for some reason I can't seem to draw a cute baby, so you're gonna have to deal with an ugly one. Sorry! My brother and sister were at school at the time when I was born, so they had to wait till the end of the day to come and see me. But once they had finished school, they finally got to come and see their baby sister. My mum was still deciding between names at the time because they didn't know what to call me. She was thinking of either Jessica or Christina. And my sister said, yes, you definitely have to choose Christina. So that's how I got my name. So in my family, there's my dad, my mum, my brother and my sister. My brother was 16 when I was born and my sister was 13, so they're a lot older than me. My earliest memories are of a little boy I used to play with as our families were really close. Everyone used to call him my boyfriend and I his girlfriend, and I used to run after him in the garden trying to kiss him. It was hilarious. He even gave me my first Valentine's Day present. It was a cookie on my doorstep which said "Be Mine" on it, and it had a little bumblebee on it which was so cute. Another of my memories when I was little was of my sister and her friends getting ready to go out. They used to get ready in front of her big mirror in her room, and I used to get ready next to them and use all their makeup. I was only like 3 or 4 at the time, so I usually looked hideous. It was really funny for them though. I then used to go to the door with them and get ready to go out, and my mum would laugh and be like, "You can't go, it's your bedtime." Now, my sister and I were always really close. And when she went to uni in London, she used to take me up for weekends. And one day she took me to Hamleys, and I bought my favourite cuddly toy, who I named Cutie the cheetah. As you can see, I was very inventive with names when I was 4. He was in one of my earlier videos actually. I also have memories of me and my brother. We used to go and get Happy Meals from McDonald's, and he'd always be like, "Don't tell Mum because she'll get annoyed with me," because it was not the healthy option. But it was so yummy, so I'm glad he took me. And I used to collect all the toys inside. Now, me and my sister were really close. We were like best friends, sisters, and mother and daughter. Soon I went to nursery, and I became best friends with a girl called Jessica. We used to play together all the time, and we spent like no time apart. Then we started primary school together. Oops, I drew a bit of a bum on her. Just get rid of that. But sadly her family had to move away to America, and I didn't see her again. I lost my best friend that day, and then I felt all alone at school. I remember I used to sit by myself and just watch all the other kids play together and miss her so much. One day a girl came up to me, and her name was Rebecca, and she said, "Why don't we play together?" And so we did, and she later became my best friend. We used to have all these games we played together, and one I remember in particular where we had 100 pets. They all had different names, and somehow we remembered them all. I was glad to have my best friend back. One day I went for a walk with my dad by a river, and I suddenly felt really, really strange. I think I was about 9 years old at the time. I suddenly fainted and he luckily caught me and shouted for help. A woman on a boat nearby said she was a nurse and that she could help, so they took me on the boat, and the next thing I knew, I woke up in hospital. My family were all around me when I woke up, but I suddenly felt so scared when I saw all their sad faces around me. And I had a needle in my hand which was attached to a drip, which really scared me because I had never seen one of them before. Luckily, a boy in hospital made friends with me, and we were about the same age, and we had the same unknown virus. So we used to sit together and play Trop Trumps all day. He made the week much more bearable. Soon afterwards, the tsunami happened in Sri Lanka, and as half of my family is Sri Lankan, my sister got really affected by it and decided she wanted to do some charity work in Sri Lanka, so she moved over. I was really sad because she was my best friend and I didn't want her to leave. She was literally on the other side of the world. I got so upset and I missed her so much that I used to sit underneath the dining room table and cry and write her letters. Then I made a memory box and I stuck stickers all over it, and I popped all the letters inside so that she could read them when she got home. Suddenly it was the end of primary school and I decided I wanted to go to a private girls' secondary school, whilst my friends all went to the same state mixed school. I missed them loads and it was really weird having to say goodbye to my best friends. I didn't think I'd know anyone in my secondary school, and it looked so scary and huge when I went up to the door. I was terrified. Luckily, on my first day, I recognised two of the girls next to me from my ballet school, so then I didn't feel so scared anymore, and suddenly I became really, really excited. There was a girl in front of me who looked really, really sad and scared, and I recognised her from my primary school, so we ended up becoming best friends. Everyone used to call us the terrible twins, especially the teachers, as we were always giggling. 2 years passed after I made the memory box, and after my sister became a primary school teacher in Sri Lanka, she came back. And I remember seeing her at the airport and running to go and hug her. We both cried. We had missed each other so, so much. When we got home, I showed her the memory box I had made, and she spent the next week reading my letters. She was so happy. She couldn't believe I had written so much. Then I had to start choosing my GCSEs. I knew my favourite subject was art, so I definitely wanted to do it. One day I was talking to my art teacher about it, and she was telling me how amazing my pot was that I had just made. And she suddenly said, "Come see me at lunchtime." So I did. At lunchtime, she showed me all these sketchbooks that previous students had made in 3D art. She convinced me to do it. She ended up being my teacher as well in 3D art at GCSE, and I'm so glad I did it because I had so much fun. I made all these buildings once for a green project that I did, and it was meant to be like the Emerald City in The Wizard of Oz. I also did a memory blanket for the topic of memories dedicated to my grandma. 3D art was the best subject ever. Then results day came along and I was so super nervous. I remember sitting in the car with my parents and they were like, open it, but I was just too scared. Finally I did, and all I could see was a big fat D. I panicked. I remember my mum laughing and saying, "What are you crying about? You got 4 A stars, 5 A's and a B." And then I realised the D was only part of my drama grade and I had actually got a B overall. Oops. Then A-levels came along and I knew I wanted to do maths and 3D art as they were my favourite subjects. But I didn't know what else. I decided on doing Spanish as I really thought I wanted to move to Spain when I was older, and I definitely wanted to do a language as I loved them. I also thought I should probably do one science and chose physics. That probably wasn't the best idea, seeing as I hated it in the end. After a term and a half of lower sixth, I got ill. I got really, really ill. I had these horrible migraines that would never end. I had them for months, and they wouldn't even leave me for 5 minutes. It was awful. I really missed school, and I had to go to the doctors all the time. I was continually wondering what is wrong with me. Tried physio, and luckily it worked, and my headaches got better. Finally, I was ready to go back to school, but when I went back, the school told me I was too late and I'd have to retake the year. I was really scared about this because I saw all my friends thinking about uni and going on to their last year of sixth form whilst I was still having to do my first. Whilst I was still having my headaches, I decided to make videos from home, seeing as I didn't have anything else to do. I created a channel called Utterly Random Kiki, and I had so much fun making videos. I used to make them while my friends were doing exams to make them feel much better and to cheer them up. Then A-levels came back around, and I was told I couldn't do Spanish and would have to change to French as it was all that would fit in the new timetables. I'm glad I did though, because I enjoyed French a lot more than I ever did Spanish. Luckily, I made a new friend in my new year, and I still got to see my old friends in my old year all the time. Soon I got ill again. It was awful. The migraines just kept coming back. I remember lying in bed every day and being prescribed all these different pills and medication to take, but none of them worked. In fact, they made things worse as I started getting hallucinations and seeing things like a tiger above my wardrobe and a guy outside my window. It was really, really scary time. And I was terrified, and I felt so alone. I stopped taking the pills as they just weren't making things better, but I was still so sad and alone and scared. Luckily, once I started physio again, I got better, and all the headaches seemed to go away. I got my AS results finally, and luckily I got an A, D and a C, which I was really pleased with, seeing as I barely went to school. Then the summer holidays came around and my parents separated. I remember feeling really confused and lost at the time. I just didn't understand what was going on and how things moved so quickly. Me and my mum were left in a 5-bedroom house, which was even weirder. Finally, it was my last year of school, and I was so excited to be in it. I started making YouTube videos again on a channel called kittyfloat, which is what I'm using now. Unfortunately, I became too ill to make videos and I had to stop again. Then I got so ill after half a term, and I ended up in bed again with migraines. I was also fainting and having mind blanks and panic attacks, and sadly physio didn't help this time. So it led to a bit of depression and sadness. I just wanted to be normal. It was a really bad time. I had to work from home whilst I was ill and have tuition to try and catch up. It was just a nightmare year. Luckily, I caught up enough to do my A-levels, and eventually I got my A-level results, and I got an A, a C and an E, which I couldn't believe. I was ace. I just couldn't believe I did so well after only doing a term and a half of my sixth form. And then I was even more impressed when I found out I got into Brighton Uni to study accounting and finance. I couldn't believe it. I still have mind blanks and panic attacks, but I've learnt to deal with them. I had to leave my mum alone in her 5-bedroom house and move into my uni house, where I live with 2 girls and a guy. That's where I'm living currently. The guy's really tall, so I've drawn him huge here. Oops. So I got to know my accounting and finance group really, really well. And one day I remember we went back to my house and we all played Uno before going to a night out. It was so fun. Afterwards we went to the club and there were these creepy guys who kept dancing near me and my friend. We got so creeped out that we told our guy friends that we were with, and they started dancing on them to make them go away. It was hilarious. Like, they would literally just dance straight in their faces until they moved away. And it worked. They got so creeped out that the creepy guys left us alone, and we couldn't stop laughing for the rest of the night. So I really still don't know what I want to be, but luckily I know what I enjoy. I know I love making videos on YouTube, and I know I love maths and art and drama, but I don't think I want to be an accountant like my degree. I'm excited though now because I'm past all the illness, although I still get mind blanks and panic attacks, and I'm happy with uni and friends and family. And even YouTube, I feel like I'm in a much better place. So I guess I'm finally on the road to happiness. And I'm excited. Please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and comment down below 2 facts about your own life so I can get to know a bit about you. Bye kitty cats, I love you so much, and thank you for watching. How is it still smoking? I just went away and came back and it's still smoking. What is happening to the candle?